Hi, and welcome everybody. This is Jennifer with 13 Moons Lodge, and first and foremost, please accept my apology for how I might sound and if I sniffle or sneeze or I have been unwell. I had thought about not doing this video or putting it off for a few days till I was feeling better, but it just, this morning, I got this green light kind of come in that it was going to be done. So I just followed that thread of information. So please bear with me. So this reading is for the 12th new moon and the clan mother, the grandmother moon that the teachings connect with and belong to, our gives praise. I'm laughing at myself because my mind went blank. So again, it's just where I'm at right now, not being totally balanced within my body. So I have all the cards ready here. And before I start into the reading, I just want to say if you are interested in learning more about the teachings, the grandmother moon teachings, with each moon cycle, please send me a message or an email. I'll leave my email address below, and you can join my monthly newsletter that I'm sending out, delving into these a little bit more. And also something I will be beginning in the new year and with the first moon cycle of the year is a online community where we meet once a month to delve a little bit deeper into the teachings. So it'll be a community of support and acceptance, and open to anybody who wishes to join. And I will send out more information through the emails as that gets closer. So I'm really looking forward to that. And okay, so let's just jump into this reading. So I'm going to be kind of jumping all over here and not reading it so much in sequence. There is going to be a little bit of that, but I'm finding this reading is very, very powerful. And this is a reading that is meant to give, in its broader aspect, help each one of us understand where we are in our journeys right now, help us understand why we're going through what we're going through, to shed some light on it, and to, I think, give us some support and security in that there is a reason for all this happening, not only individually, but also globally. So the very first card that came out, and this is the significator card, is the Hermit. And instantly what I was feeling with this was that it is a time to reflect. It is a time to slow down, take time out, and to reconnect with our inner essence. This is also being supported by the other cards in this reading. We have at the very middle of the reading itself the Two of Crystals, which is speaking about balancing, bringing balance into our lives, not overdoing the external. Otherwise, you end up coming imbalanced physically, like I have. And that's exactly what happened. I know what happened. I was not taking the time I needed to rest and recuperate. And I was trying to do too much. And with that, in doing that, following what our mind can lead us to believe we need to do, it can pull us out of balance. And a lot of that is bringing that, reining that back in this reading, bringing back into that. No, we need to recognize also in this balancing of not believing our thoughts. So even those of us on the spiritual path that are believing we need to do this and this and this and this in order to accomplish our goals spiritually, that isn't always the case, because oftentimes these tasks or things are disguised, they're in disguise, that we're being told we need to follow, but they're based from conditioning, another layer of conditioning from the past. And so this is what we're addressing here. In this moon cycle that's coming in the Gives Praise is all about giving thanks to everything, every experience we've ever had, including the now and all aspects of life, and recognizing that, you know, the separateness is an illusion, that we are all things. And as we take action through our thoughts, our words, our deeds, where are they coming from? What is the underlying emotion that is driving these? Are they loving to oneself, or are they filling a need where we perhaps feel lack in some way, or fear? And recognizing that as we manifest these ways of being into the world, we are not only affecting all beings, but ourselves. And so now these can be, obviously, I'm speaking of the unintentional ones here, okay? So these are the ones that we operate from in the subconscious. These aren't things that we are doing from a conscious place of creating, because we want to do no harm. That is our wish. But it's the subconscious ones, the ones where we are resisting our heart, resisting our truth in ways that we don't even realize it. So there, in this reading, it's talking about coming into revealing deeper layers of conditioning, and letting go of, you know, things where we have unintentionally put harm against ourselves. And it's healing those, bringing those into balance and letting those go, so that we can allow a layer of that resistance to fall away from our heart. And thereby we have more heart space. We're creating more heart space, which allows more of the flow of love, which is our true essence. So just getting back into the reading, that's kind of the synopsis of what this reading is about. It is a deep, profound changes happening within us individually as well as collectively. And again, the moon cycle is just supporting us, reminding us of how abundant we are. And oh my gosh, in such profound ways that our mind doesn't want us to believe. So we have the Hermit asking us to take the time out to sit with ourselves deeper in a meditative way, in a contemplative way, so that we can get in touch again with our true essence and ask these questions of ourselves that I was just speaking about, of what am I feeling in my heart around this situation, or is there a underlying frequency or vibration to what I'm feeling? Is there like a base operating system that I am existing from in terms of a subconscious belief? We have the Three of Crystals, which is equivalent to the Three of Pentacles. So we're talking here about new structure, and we are building something new here. We are, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to say it. We're like babies. It feels like we're babies, and we are, as we are coming into these deeper layers and aspects of who we are not, and surrendering into the flow of what is. And this is not an easy task. This is not an easy journey by any means of the word. It means surrendering into your biggest fears. It is softening into them. It is like, as a yoga teacher, one thing I always talk about is, as we are sitting and settling into a pose, we breathe into those spaces in the body that are holding the most resistance. And we're not forcing anything, but we are just focusing on where the resistance is, and we're allowing it to be, and we're breathing into it, acknowledging it, and then allowing the body to open and soften like a flower blossoming in its own time. And this is kind of what it's like, facing our fears and softening into them, surrendering into them. Very similar type of energy. It's interesting that that symbology came in, but that's what I'm feeling like as we are doing this in this process, experiencing this is what we're doing. We're rebuilding our foundation. We're chipping away basically at the old stuff using the symbol of the pickaxe here. And we're, one piece at a time. And to build something new. And what are we doing here in this? Okay, I have to also point out, we have 4 major arcana cards in the spread, 3 of which, so there's the first one, which I think is very important to note, the very first one being the Hermit, the Significator card, but then at the end of each row is a major arcana card, as you can see here, boom, boom, boom. So we have the Star under the first row, we have the Tower under the second, and Death under the third, all pointing to what I was speaking of. We are chipping away these aspects of ourselves, these lower, part of me wants to say lower density, but there's another message in there. They're insidious, almost, how they're almost unnoticeable, unperceptible. So it's about, getting really, really quiet within and allowing and being with whatever comes up, and really just sitting with the uncomfortable, all of it. Things that you didn't even think, memories, things that you thought you had dealt with from years ago, coming up to be forgiven and healed. But these are aspects of each one of us, even though it might be something that happened outside of us, again, being that we're all one, whether it was intentional or not, we still hold that experience in us. So this is really, really deep stuff I'm talking about here. Excuse me. So in the last card of the third row, we have the Star. And there's 2 messages that came in with this one. And the first was being balanced, finding balance between the spiritual self and the physical self. And the other one is alchemizing. So alchemizing everything, every experience into, again, the positive, being grateful for all of it. The second row, we have the 9 of Cups. So this is feeling, I think it's just, again, bringing in that energy of gratitude, feeling abundant, very much abundant, and opening yourself to that, recognizing all we have to be thankful for, whatever our circumstances are, because the feeling of gratitude is going to lift us up and take us into higher energies, finer vibrations. And it is a choice. This is a choice that we all make, we have the power to make in every situation, in every moment, to how we want our experience to unfold. Now, as we are on this global evolution, we do have this choice. Everything seems very pronounced to me also. Feelings are felt stronger, whether they, whether we experience them as positive or negative, but everything is felt more intensely in the body. Thoughts even seem more powerful. So just the energies in general are very significant in how we filter them through our system. So it's getting really intentional on how we want to process these. And if we are finding that we're butting up against something, then again, it's really important to come back into holding space for yourself. Oh my gosh. I'm going to jump back here to the first row. I forgot to do the clarifying card. So the clarifying card for the first row, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. His eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. So this really is about stepping out of our everyday task and the, remember I was talking about our minds say, okay, we need to do this and this and this to be productive, to be successful, and whatever that might be, whether it's for our job or business, to be accepted in society, or whether if you're on a spiritual path, to be a spiritual person, or whatever it might be. For each one of us, it's going to be different. But this is about remembering that we are connected, but getting out of ourselves, taking in a bigger view, a bigger, like that of an eagle. Okay. So stepping outside of our limited view as a human being and our thoughts and our tasks and things we need to do, doing that through the meditation, the contemplation, looking at the bigger picture of where we are going, recognizing where we are in our journey and holding compassion for ourselves. Non-judgment. There's no room for judgment here. This is about loving ourselves more. This is about, and it's not a mental thing. It's an energetic experience thing. For me, it's been a journey of releasing resistance. Okay. So jumping back into the Nine of Cups, recognizing everything we have to be grateful for in that abundance. To the Two of Crystals, again, as I mentioned, is in the middle of the reading, almost of the path. Interesting. But it is about finding balance in our path, coming into balance. It's a great time when you're forced, if you're not well, to take the time out. You're kind of being forced to. And boy, oh boy, I'm getting caught up on mine. And I'm very, very grateful for it. So at the bottom of the throat, we have the Tower. So this is just simply about changing, us changing. And as we change and drop these layers of who we are not, it is going to shift our reality, how we experience it in profound ways. And of course, how we experience life. The filters change, and everything in the perceived outside world around us is going to be experienced differently. This is also going to affect how we live our lives. And I'm not talking, some of these are going to be sudden, but then there's going to be more long-term things that manifest over a longer period of time, is what I'm trying to say. This row is being clarified by freedom. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. We're freeing ourselves from limitations. The butterfly, of course, is transformation. We are dying on many levels. There's many levels of us dying and being reborn. It's no different than when a person sheds the physical body, it's another layer. That's a different layer, but the soul carries on. That's my belief in when I connect with beings that are on the other side of the veil. And I say the veil very loosely because they're just not, they don't have the physicality which our physical eyes perceive, but energetically, it's no different. I forget where I was going with that. The veil. But it's all the parts of us that are dying and being reborn and transforming. And it never stops. It never stops. But what we are doing is we're freeing ourselves. We're freeing our hearts. We're freeing our souls. And we're just coming into our truth, remembering back to who we really are, which is consciousness. Okay, the final row. I'm sorry if this is getting long. We have the 8 of Pentagrams, which is the 8 equivalent to the 8 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite. And this is about, again, the thinking, the thoughts, and being really busy with the doing, the taskless, the thinking. And I'm talking about the thinking because that's in the next card here with this 8 of Daggers, which is also the 8 of Swords, how that can keep us trapped in these little mind games. So those insidious, excuse me, undercurrents of thought that we're not even aware of. So the 8 of Pentagrams or Pentacles is that being task oriented. And it's just about how easy it is for us to get distracted into feeling the need to do. And that's where our self-worth lies, whatever belief there might be with that. It could be, it's coming up here. So it could be a really big point to consider within yourself if this resonates. Maybe that's why it's showing up here. I know it resonates for me. And again, down again to the 8 of Daggers or the 8 of Swords, how these beliefs, and we're blind to them. See the blindfold she's wearing? So we're unconscious of these, and yet they're controlling us. They're keeping us trapped within ourselves, and we're the only person who is creating this. But this is what we're stepping out of, little by little. And then finally, in this row, we have the Death card. This is the death. What I'm hearing coming is, this is the death of 1,000 journeys. I don't know what that means. That's just what I heard. I'm also hearing triumphant. So we can't not win at this. This is happening each in our own time and cycle, but everything is speeding up. Everything is more pronounced, intense. And I want to say it has to be, but this is just also the way it is. And this is what we are creating as well to help us through this. The clarifying card for this row is last quarter moon in Gemini. Clear your mind. So this is about creating that space, stepping out of yourself in terms of looking at your life from a broader sense. Remembering again that you're not your thoughts, you're not the things you do, that's not who you are. Bringing more balance in. Yeah. So that's it for the reading. I hope you found that really helpful to give you some maybe perspective, a new perspective or a confirmation on what you might be experiencing right now. It is definitely about trusting the process. And again, I know it's not easy at times, but also remembering that it's all temporary. And you're making room by surrendering into the most fearful parts of ourselves and forgiving ourselves, loving ourselves, and having gratitude for ourselves. We're creating space for beautiful ways of being and experiencing to come in. So hang in there. You got this. We got this. Oh my, I'm getting all mushy. I love you. Know that you're loved. My brothers and sisters. And that's it. So we will see you in a couple weeks for the full moon reading. And until then, please take care. Bye for now.